So I went to high school in the Midwest, in Iowa, actually, in a place that factory, industrial town, Waterloo, Iowa, where they had John Deere tractors and the Raft Packing Company. And in the 1980s, I went to South Dakota. What was the name of the place? Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where there was a strike against the Hormel Company. And I was asked to come out and sing for that strike. And, right, exactly. Yeah. That's reason enough to go on strike. But I was reading about the meatpacking industry at the time and learned about how unsafe this industry still is. You know, because obviously they're working with sharp blades a lot, but also because of the repetitive motion of this job. Many of the jobs in this industry cause people to get carpal tunnel. And they work on the line. How many people have had carpal tunnel? Anybody here had carpal tunnel? Yeah, so it affects a lot of people who, you know, do repeated motion. And but it was epidemic in the meatpacking industry. So I wrote this song about carpal tunnel. It's actually carpal tunnel can affect musicians as well, because obviously repetitive motion. And if you practice too much without a break, you can get carpal tunnel. If you keep on, so it's why I try not to practice too much. Won't get carpal tunnel. Anyway, here's probably the only song I know of about carpal tunnel in the meatpacking industry. Early in the morning, at the start of the day, I force my fingers round the handle of the blade, starting to cutting just as fast as I can. By the end of the day, I can hardly move my hands. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move. The foreman tells me to stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Oh, 10 years ago, I started in the kill. Now 10 years later, well, I got my fill. I keep on cutting though the line's twice as fast. Well, I don't know how long these arms will last. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move. The foreman tells me to stay in the groove. You cut them cattle as fast as I do, you'll get that carpal tunnel too. Well, they're not 5 minutes. Passes a man that he don't feel the carpal tunnel deep in his hands. He feels it in his fingers and his wrists all the time. It's the curse of the speed up on the process line. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move, but the foreman tells me to stay in the groove. Cut that cattle as fast as I do, you get that carpal tunnel too. Well, I work with a knife and a blade in my hand. I cut them cows with a big iron band, but it feels like a knife is cutting me all the time, because the carpal tunnel lives in the big nerve line. I got that old carpal tunnel and my hands won't move. The foreman tells me to stay in the groove. You cut that cattle as fast as I do, you'll get that carpal tunnel too. Well, I'll go in for an operation once more, but I'll come right back to the killing floor. I'll tell them darling children of mine, don't you ever go to work